All right, so this is the family that I had dreamed about on August 30th. Kendall, Kalani, Josie, and Sophia. Their last name is Melvin, and they were in a house. It was 6 girls. 4 of them passed away. 2 girls made it out. I think it was like 5 sisters and 1 friend. There's a GoFundMe, so look up their family and give money so they can get some temporary housing. So in the dream, there was Coffin Like This from Serpent in the Rainbow, and that's what we're talking about for June 30th Decode, which Wednesday Addams season 2 just came out on September 3rd. And we're talking about like Aaliyah and the plane accident. Aaliyah Ortega is Jenna Ortega's sister, born 723. And 723 comes up a lot because St. Bridget of Sweden is 723, which 327 is the birthday of Halle Bailey, who played The Little Mermaid. So we're talking about her plane accident. And she played a movie with Stuart Townsend, December 15th birthday. And we talked about how the person who wrote the Serpent in the Rainbow was born December 14th, which is just 1 day away from Richard Townsend. He has the same birthday as George Washington. So when you're looking for Lemurians, there's a ritual that happens on May 13th. The Society of Cincinnati is General George Washington was the president. Okay, so W. Carroll, Cincinnati type thing, May 13th. So that May 13th date comes a lot. Also, Valeria Marquez in Mexico with the pig. Remember her at Blossom, or Blossom was the name of her store, as well as Cardi B's daughter's name Blossom, so here you know. So there's a movie called Romeo Must Die, and it was starring Aaliyah, right? Came out March 14th. The other day I was like, oh, I'm watching Steve Harvey season 1 episode 1 with my daughter and my mom, my daughter Aaliyah and my mom. So my mom's making me watch it. Oh, she's not making me watch it. I realized that it's so funny, this show with Steve Harvey. I also realized that Merlin Santana is Romeo Santana. They gave him the same last name as real life in the show. Very interesting. Then he has his friend Stanley Bullethead. Okay, that's the guy's name. The guy in the TV show. William Lee Scott plays that. And we talked about Scott Foley playing Jake Ballard in Scandal B613 with Olivia Pope, and George Washington was born in Pope's Creek. Go watch Scandal. But back to Merlin Santana and Romeo Santana and Stanley Bullethead. If you look at Merlin, how he passed away, he actually was Pume Pume in his head. And his name on the Huxtable was Stanley. So you're telling me they didn't already, like this spiritual be crossing over to real life. There's not a coincidence. Romeo, Aaliyah, Romeo Must Die, Stanley Bullethead, William Lee Scott, B613, all that. Then you have Steve Harvey, Lori Harvey dating the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Michael B. Jordan, that energy. So the Wakandans, the people that live in the water, and the Ocean Gate situation where like Stockton Rush and all them go down there and they pass away. He's born March 31st, Selena's birthday. Selena Quintanilla, who is like Selena Gomez, like Jenna Ortega, who playing in the Gomez family. March 31st, Selena Quintanilla passes away. She's a mermaid. June 18th, okay, this is when he passes away, which I believe is like Takeoff's birthday, who passed away 11/1. The record was found on 6/22, which was the date that Virgin Airlines started and the date that Aaliyah, the plane driver, flyer, his birthday, and then the Anaya Blanchard, her birthday is 6/22. So there's a big date where they go into this portal. So if you're born 6/22, 2/26, 9/22, 2/29, 2/29, it's all like the same dates. So remember that. Anagrams of your birthday are part of the date. So the Titanic had a Haitian family, the LaRoche family on it. And this man with his family, he basically saved his family, but he passed away on the boat. The LaRoche family, look it up. And his birthday was May 26th. Keep that in mind. But they have the Explorers Club, professional societies that go, they're not just looking for the water, like animals and dolphins. They're looking for us. Young Dolph was a ritual because the dolphin, the name, and his birthday. These are all rituals. One of the charters of this explorer was Frank Chapman. Remember, Florence Ballard was married to a Chapman. Sometimes people are sent from their ancestors who may not be melanated through a melanated person to come and be a remote viewer or a handler. You didn't even know. It might have been her husband was sent just to make her have babies to stop her Florence and the Machine Supremes. Sometimes people get you pregnant just so you cannot finish your career and make the money and help people. So you don't even know if Florence Ballard was married to Chapman because Chapman was sent from the explorers spiritually. So when you look at it, start to think about the DNA and memories and the way people could control you through your birthday portals and your DNA connecting. And they could connect, you know, when the slaves would have children with the, when the people who were taken hostage to America would have children with the people who took them hostage, some of their DNA goes inside of the children. Those children could be then programmed because their DNA and their families to then do things. Even if family owned, you're still connected to them. When you got taken as a hostage, your DNA sometimes changed. And sometimes they're hunting for the Lemurians. And a lot of us have DNA from ancient Aztecs and Mayas and, Lemurians, March 31st, April 16th. And then they're connected to like popes and they're connected to government officials. It's like this whole entire spiritual portal because of the mothership, the Vajayjay, the portal that you're coming in and coming out of. So remember, 229 is 622. Ballard and Chapman are married 229, which is like 622. So then you're like, was Mr. Thomas sent as someone who was like a handler, remote viewer, to then stop her from staying in the Supremes because she wants the family, which is her original thing to want? Like, she could have wanted a family, but maybe she had time to wait. They were together since, I think they were together since she was 14 and her husband was 16. So this is a long relationship, all right? So the guy flying Aaliyah's plane 622, same time Virgin Airlines is made, same time this Titanic little ship down there, the Ocean Gate ship is discovered, 622. These are dates. When they're putting dates out, specifically, it's a ritualistic date. So Florence Ballard, Jake Ballard, the Ballard from the Explorers Club. This is a lot of, when you're connected to a name, you're connected somehow to that energy. So she becomes Florence Glenda Chapman, Florence in the Machine. The machines, the matrix, they connect you to the machine. When you unplug, you could become Neo and Trinity. And those Neo and Trinity are connected to these people who created the Sophia robot and artificial intelligence based on DNA of Nefertiti and the information from Audrey Hepburn based on her portal. So when I tell you these things to pay attention, they're connected to Little Jeffrey Island and what they were doing there with artificial intelligence and your consciousness. They need to survive in a robot, or they need to have us be in a robot consciously to connect and to program the robots to work for them, because the robots are not that smart unless they're connected to humans. Humans are like natural robots. We are like the most smartest things in the world, but a lot of us are just not like accessing what's going on, and we're like still like, I have money, I'm good, robot, because you have money and then everything's great in the world, but you have money, but everything else is so you pay. Anyways, because I'll just keep going on. But like Canada, that guy that created the Serpent and the Rainbow book, Wade Davis, I told you about, that's connected to Virgin Airlines founder, Canada. He's born in Canada. Justin Trudeau is connected to Mary Trudeau. Mary Laveau in New Orleans, the hairdresser, voodoo priestess, her family is the Trudeau family. So yes, it could be connected directly and all the way to Trudeau and them. They know what's up. Both their birthdays are the same. So these connections to the Sophia robot, Sister Sophia, Saint Sophia, wisdom and knowledge and awakening in the computer program. That's why Beyonce be doing a lot of, I'm a robot. And she puts a lot of subliminals, but literally, these are the alleged things going on in the entertainment world, right? Allegedly. Like I said, when they're showing you the good people, they're showing you the bad people because they can't see what we look like. So even if you are not born on June 30th, still look into this. February 14th is her birthday. The ritual called parentinalia, like Parent Trap, starts February 13th. I was hospitalized on February 13th. So anything that, my birthday is February 27th, and I was hospitalized for 13 days. And then 2 days in Nashville where I was like cleared that in 2019, I'm totally normal. But still, it's 7 years from my hospital now being 2019, about to be 2026, that's 6-7 years. And I've been pretty normal. Just been able to teach you guys what I learned, because when you first wake up and you're not aware this is happening, it's kind of a little bit deep, because you realize that everything that in sci-fi movies is actually really happening. You start to be like, wow. So the whole time sci-fi movies, I thought my whole life sci-fi movies were just some made up thing. No, artificial intelligence, ancient intelligence, those Egyptian pyramids, Lemurians, they are like an energetic fold. Neptunians, people from other planets, they exist. And there is like an intergalactic federation that in the psychic world, in the middle, in sleep meditation, they talk. And the talk is, the town is that if y'all don't wake up, the cycle's gonna pass and you're gonna be like zombies for like more thousands of years. So in video 10, we're going to connect the Merlin Santana and these dates to what's going on, how